Neighborhood. The sky's a neighborhood, so keep it down. Good morning, Christine. A few things I want to talk about. Life is a storybook. Gather round. See, this is why we talk about real things here. Texas is frozen. People dying in their homes, car accidents, things are happening because a lot of bullshizzle happens. The sky is a neighborhood. And the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 is the one where they hide the information from you for energy production that keeps us on fossil fuels. And now the world is freezing, or at least the West is freezing. People freezing in their homes. I have friends, I'm trying to pass advice to them how to live in frozen environments, defrost your pipes, leave your water trickling, all because of artificial scarcity. This bipartisan criminal organization called the U.S. Incorporated that's kept technology from people for the longest time. But I heard something this morning and I need some clarification. I need to look it up. I don't know anything about it, but apparently in December, somebody said Trump required, there was some sort of bill or executive order where he required the acronym agencies within 6 months, they have to release all the data they have on the UFOs. I call them IFOs. We know what they are. Tesla technology, and the sky is a neighborhood. Sometimes those craft come falling down and they keep that hidden. And that was what was profound in 2020 to me, was the fact that they finally admitted that Roswell wasn't a lie. They finally admitted that by saying, I'm jumping right into it. I'm going too fast. Let me slow down. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fake world. Yeah, 6 people died. I just escaped that accident. I escaped that accident by a couple hours. I almost died. I know I say that about once a month, and it's true. Life here is very difficult. But why do cars crash? Why do roads freeze? Because we don't have the resources to take care of the things that we need to. Why do we have millions of people without power right now? Well, because JP Morgan decided a long time ago that it was more profitable to keep people starving of energy so he can make big time money. So now when it gets cold, people are freezing all over the West. And to me, it's criminal. It's all criminal. The fact that they haven't repealed the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 is insanity. Why would you write a stimulus check when you don't need stimulus? You just need to release the modern technology. You need to stop making it a crime for people to make higher efficient energy devices, so that when things start to freeze, when weather comes in, probably because of that damn harp ship or whatever it is, doesn't really matter what you think it is. The point is, people are starved of energy. We live in a scarce energy environment, and we've been told the truth from the very beginning, and it's by the poor folks, not by those in government. If we had enough energy, people wouldn't be freezing. You have to worry about power lines and ice storms and people dying in freezing temperatures, who are used to living in warm times. Houses designed for warm climates, and every now and then things shift, and now people can't take care of themselves because we got criminals running a corporation that most people call it government. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna do my best to talk about it. Y'all can try to railroad me if you want to. I think it's important that we have a real conversation about the fact that the Pentagon released for the first time that, hey, we've got parts of UFOs and pieces and stuff. And then I can get into theories, like I try to figure out, well, what was Trump doing that they hate so much? They impeached the man 8 times, or tried to. Maybe they realized that he was going this direction. Maybe this was a middle finger to the establishment that threw him out. I kind of think he was controlled opposition, but I think it's huge if he actually gave them 6 months to release all the information they have on free energy. You can call it UFOs. But I also, I don't think that I don't think they care what the president says. That's just me. I don't think the corporations are beholden to it. I think they'll still only release what they want to release. So that's the road I'd like to go down. So now that we know Roswell was a real event, they admitted that they had the flexible metal. Actually, I'm gonna play a video for y'all real quick. Anyway, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Oh, it's worse than that, Christine. People are dying right now. People are frozen in their homes. You know, here, the worst we had to deal with recently, we had a 7-day power outage here in Pennsylvania on the East Coast. And it was in winter, but at least it was in the daytime, it would get above freezing. It would get into the 40s, mid 30s. So it was tolerable, right? Your house would warm off during the daytime. And then it would drop down sometimes below 30, but not really down to 20. And we can manage, right? We're cold people over here. We know doing the cold. You leave your water running. You keep the water trickling. If it freezes up, you find out in the line where it's blocked. You use a blow dryer to heat the pipe up so it melts. Leave the water on, and then you'll hear it in the kitchen or wherever you left the water on. You know, you'll know when it's released and the water will start flowing. But people die. As much as we knew how to take care of ourselves, that was going back, 5 years ago? We had all those snowstorms. But people are dying right now in the West Coast. And to me, you know, same reason that they got to write people stimulus checks is the same reason people are dying on the West Coast right now. Their temperatures are going down into the single digits, right? sub freezing in single digits. And these are people who live in homes that aren't designed to tolerate that type of weather. The government's a criminal. The sky's a neighborhood, so keep it down. But also, you don't have a government. You have criminals that run whatever this is. They're collapsing the dollar, and that's a great thing. The dollar needs to collapse. I was surprised most people don't have heaters in Texas. Wow, totally dependent on the system. Well, yeah, what happens, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I've never lived out there. I've stayed out there in the summer times, but, you know, it can get cold at nighttime. But as long as it heats up in the daytime, you really don't feel it. You know, so that frost doesn't really destroy crop production. Right? And that's another thing to think about. Think about all the crops that come out of California, New Mexico, parts of Texas, and the cost of food prices going up. So now food prices got to go up, and you already got food scarcity issues because we still are cheering for criminals that claim they have the ability to keep secrets from you. I'm gonna play this video for you real quick. But if anybody knows, if anyone has a link on whatever that was, apparently in December, that's what he passed some sort of law, stimulus, executive order, whatever they do, whatever the masses do, to require within 6 months they release everything they have on UFOs, which is what I just heard. I'm gonna play this for you real quick. And this is why it's not a joke topic. Right? This is why they always go to little green men, because they make it a ridiculous topic because they don't want to share, right? The same criminals that own all the land from slavery, the landowners, the railroad tycoons, the robber barons, all of those families had all that money handed down and all the land handed down. And this is why we had desertification like we talked about yesterday, because they overgrazed the cattle, destroyed all the land. You don't have real productive, abundant deserts that you've always had. You have just barren wastelands because they were making as much money as they could going from slavery to cattle driving. And it's not that simple, but there's more that happens within that. But the same families are in control of all of this. Right? The same families that were behind the East India Trading Company, they own America. Those are the same families that set up the United States Incorporated in 1871. You know, and nothing is what it seems. Nothing is what it appears. And so people literally die because we still have people who are clueless about the kings and the lords that they would actually tell you about energy production. All right, so let me show you this video. This is a good brother that does videos on unexplained mysteries, but they finally admitted to us after how many years of, oh, it's swamp gas, it's cow farts, you're drunk, you know, it's clouds, ball lightning. No, the sky is a neighborhood. We need to keep it down. Let me show you. I love that song. Hold on. Good morning, Citizen Dev. I see you over there. This might be the fun one.
Into the subject. The irony of this being that the Pentagon and officials who work on secret projects have now been quite open about the subject and have even gone on record as talking openly about the topic of UFOs, something that many researchers thought would never happen. This change in stance has caused some to question whether they might be releasing some important information in regards to the subject. An amateur researcher by the name of Anthony Bragalia requested a Freedom of Information letters in regards to UAPs, also known as unidentified aerial phenomena. Anthony penned a letter to the Defense Intelligence Agencies requesting details on UFO material. This included things like debris sightings and crashes. He said the following: "This could include physical debris recovered by personnel of the Department of Defense as residue, flotsam, shot-off material or crash material from UAPs, and also unidentified flying objects." End quote. In response to this request, the Defense Intelligence Agency shared over 150 pages of information, which included reports on a mysterious memory metal called nitinol, which remembers its original shape when folded. Interestingly, those that have researched the Roswell incident said that those who were cleaning up the crash site that day reported picking up thin pieces of material that when crushed would return to its original shape.
You hear what he just said? Are y'all processing that? We got any aloners in the universes here where you just alone, you just the best thing since poured rice, ain't nothing came before you and after you, you're the intelligent thing in the universe? They just basically confirmed to you that Roswell was a real event. Because how would the ranchers know that the crash, that craft, the government said, hey, this is a flying saucer. We found something from we captured something from another world. And later the next day they said, oh no, it's some dummies and some tinfoil. Somebody was eating some hot dogs and they threw them out the airplane. It landed in the, but the ranchers said it was weird. It was a weird metal that we took and we folded up and we let it go and it bounced right back into place. Memory metal. And now they admitted to, oh, where the hell's the video? Oh, right there. And they admitted to you that, yeah, well, we found this through a Freedom of Information Act request. And I think the reason that they release this stuff decades after it happens is they think you'll forget. I'm here to not let you forget. I'm here to let you know that people are dying in Texas, New Mexico, California, and the places that have rolling blackouts because they don't have energy. Because we still live in a criminal crony world where you'll let people die instead of share technology because it makes more money keeping artificial scarcity than sharing modern technology with the people who need it or die because they don't have it.
Anthony said this document is incredible and that it proves that the US government has retrieved advanced materials from crashes that have extraordinary capabilities. He said the following: "The Pentagon has admitted to holding and testing anomalous debris from UFOs. They have been able to learn some things about the materials of construction, which hold tremendous promise as futuristic materials which will change our lives forever." End quote. Interestingly, he said that the first Freedom of Information Act request.
And how many whistleblowers have told us that, right? Stephen Greer and the rest of them, the ones who've told us that the types of technology they have will change our lives forever. They'll end the requirement to be on fossil fuels. They'll end wars. They'll end the reason for scarcity. You won't have any ghettos. You won't have any burials. There'll be no need for human migrations. You can reduce climate change. All the issues everybody's crying about, all the things that people are protesting for, all of those things go away. Who else said it? The DARPA scientists, the ones that work with Annie Jacobson, the one that she interviewed in her book, that we have levels of technology that just could save the planet. In which I don't think you need to save the planet. I think you just need to save the dumb monkeys. You just need to save us. I think we live in profound times, and this is why I don't tolerate ignorance. This is why when the flying monkeys come around and say, oh, we're alone in the universe and I'm just the best thing. Grandmama said I'm special. I'm sorry, I have to take a segue. And so I had a flat tire this morning, so I had to go over to the criminal store. I had to go over to the big box store to get some Fix-A-Flat. And I hate going in that. I haven't gone in that big box store, and I can't remember when. I do my best to not go onto enemy grounds, enemy territory. And walking through the store, I saw a big bin of face diapers, and it had, I guess it was the name of a brand. It was called something about your honor, or this is my honor, or I'm honorable. I'm just trying to figure out, since when did honor become eating ho-hos and donuts and Twinkies and cultivating the most worst diseases on the planet because you don't want to eat kale and smoothies and green things that your grandmama told you. So you're cultivating disease to give it to grandmama and everybody else coughing it up instead of your body beating whatever you get before you have symptoms. When did that become honor? Honor used to be defying the king's orders and the orders of the lords, standing up for the meek, having a warrior's code. It was just the funniest thing. And I just had all these face diapers, and it's like, something about honor. I'm like, my God, that's not honor. That's called being a slave. All right. Oh, goodness.
This was submitted back in 2017, and that it took over 3 years for them to reply. He went on to say the following. The article mentioned that anomalous debris from UFOs, now called UAPs, was being analysed by a private defence contractor. Material evidence such as UFO debris has been a focus of my research. My Freedom of Information Act request was very specific, seeking the test results of UFO and UAP debris, not materials already known to science. End quote. Anthony, like many other UFO researchers, believe that government officials have collected debris from crash sites when they've been reported, and those who have looked into the subject have said there's been a handful of crashes over the last few decades.
What's the difference between your lawn and a true green lawn?
You're not supposed to cut grass or your lawn.
Amateur researchers have said these UFO crashes don't happen often, but when they do, one of the first to arrive on the scene is that of government officials. Anthony is interested in nitinol that was described in the document. He said the following. The inclusion of advanced technical reports on nitinol is curious. Nitinol is a shaped memory alloy that remembers its original shape when folded or crunched, and snaps back seemingly and instantly. This memory metal characteristic was reported by many witnesses at Roswell. End quote. Back in December, the 45th President of the United States signed a $2.3 trillion relief and government funding bill. It also started the ball rolling on something else. As of that date, US intelligence agencies have just 180 days to release everything they know about unidentified flying objects, a subject that has been thrown into the limelight in recent months.
If anybody has anything on that, I'm interested in that. We need to look into that. I mean, I don't think, once again, that acronym agencies report to the president. I don't think they report to Congress or them. But it would be interesting to know that that was his intent.
The director of the National Intelligence and the Secretary.
I mean, it's worth pulling a JFK on him. That's worth doing anything. That's worth staging an insurrection. That's worth anything, right? Defying the world's oil companies.
Is said to have been put on the spot, and will now have to reveal everything they know about these unidentified crafts. It sounds too good to be true, but the call to action is very much real. It's stated that these documents must contain detailed analysis and descriptions of unidentified crafts.
Sounds too good to be true. Yes, it absolutely does. But this is where we take something that can be made viral and we push it harder to make it viral. The conversation alone is damaging. Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. The law that they need to repeal that keeps us locked in the inefficient fuel production or inefficient energy production on fossil fuels, wind turbines that freeze, and that's what that is right there, that freeze in winter, and solar panels. When those 200 inventors got together when they went to Washington, D.C. to have a hearing at Congress to release 5,000 patents, they said most were related to energy production that they refused to release, and Congress refused to hear from them. It's all the stimulus we need. We need you to repeal that act of 1951. We need you to grow the F up. We need you to actually stand behind what you want. All the world's problems come back to the fact that we are slaves to gravity.
That have been observed by the naval intelligence, and also that of the mysterious Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. Interestingly, this bill backs up what many UFO researchers have been saying for years, and this is that every other year they open up a new project in order to study and work alongside these crafts. Those who have looked into the phenomena have said that back when Project Blue Book was carried out, officials said at the end of their investigations they didn't find anything of interest, and so shut down the program, saying that nothing was found and it wasn't worth their time and energy. However, fast forward a couple of decades and numerous UFO programs have been opened up to look into the phenomena, with researchers noting that these are only the ones we know about.
Why the U.S. Privacy Commission wants this new super lens banned. This is the first reason.
It's fair to say then that government officials are interested in these crafts, and clearly think it's worth the time, effort and money to further investigate whatever these things are. Due to recent announcements in regards to this subject, it's caused some to say that UFOs need to be taken more seriously, and that the stigma around those that study them needs to be dropped. With amateur researchers saying the irony is that government officials are perhaps the ones that are most interested in these objects, spending billions of dollars over the years in order to study them, and gather as much evidence as possible. Some have said the former president is going all out, and wants to reveal the truth to the public about what's really going on. Others, though, within the UFO community are not sure if any information will be released, with one UFO researcher saying the following: "On paper, it's very exciting that this announcement is being released, but the bottom line is that they won't release any information they don't want to. It's sad because people are getting excited by this news, and I can see why. But in my opinion, judging on how people have acted this year, and how easily offended people get, do you think we're ready to be told that we could be part of something much bigger?"
Some of you come from very far, Washington State and New Jersey and Michigan and all over. And I want to thank all of you for coming. The purpose of this meeting is to provide an update, but also a real...
Before we go there, I'm sorry, I didn't know the audio was off. No, I said, is the human race ready? Doesn't matter if they're ready. We don't have to. People aren't ready to give up ho-hos and Twinkies and all the things that that lead to the cuckoo. They're not ready to give that up. So it doesn't really matter if they're ready to accept the fact that their narcissism and sociopathy, that they're the only thing in the universe. That's not important. People got to catch up at a certain point. When people die from not having technology, then everyone else just, if you're not ready, then you're just not ready. It doesn't matter if people are ready. That was my point. I'm sorry that sounds wrong. Is that we have to move forward. People died from not having this technology. We got to repeal the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. We have to release that technology. Doesn't matter if they're ready. People have to grow up. They have to get away from their own little narcissistic ideas that we've been indoctrinated into.
Really big overview.
So this is a segue into Stephen Greer.
Of the projects we're involved with, particularly dealing with the technology in free energy sector, because there's a lot of misunderstandings in the public on that. And that has been something that we've worked on now intensely for 15 years. This will be shared with the public via YouTube and the internet. And the reason for it is that there's a big learning curve to understanding the technology, but more importantly, to understanding the policy issues, the national security issues, the details of how you evaluate these technologies, and moving through the minefield of claims that are out there on the internet in particular, which has become a huge problem in the last year for us. So I want to first give you sort of the big picture. And the big picture is that we haven't needed fossil fuels since about 100 years ago. This building was built in 1913. Certainly by then, Tesla, Faraday, Maxwell, particularly the Maxwell-Quaternion equations that were chopped off and changed, as you may well know, some of you who are engineers, has resulted in us having an energy sector that requires us to burn something or heat something up to create steam to get us electricity or to run our cars. However, 100 years of really advanced physics, which weren't that well understood 100 years ago in terms of very high voltage systems at certain resonant high hertz, they call it, cycles per
Well, I tell you what, I'm messing up this morning. I'm so sorry. I appreciate that. There you go, Max. The sound of silence. All right, I'm sorry. I'm messing up this morning, y'all. Rough morning. Rough morning. Not for me, but for people in Texas. I mean, my morning was not great. I had things to do. But damn it, I'm not like frozen under a block of ice because my government is a criminal keeping secret technology from people. I forgot what I said. Well, yeah, right. So in terms of problems being solved, no. Before we got there, right? They understood this very well. That's what he says. They didn't understand it very well. Now, I disagree with Stephen Greer on that. They understood it very well. Nikola Tesla understood it very well. The guy that came before Nikola Tesla and made the first electric car, he understood it very well too. JP Morgan understood it very well. They understood very well that if they actually allow people to live on modern technology, that they won't have forced labor slave plantations. There'll be no need for money. There'll be no need for debt. There'll be no need for the Walgreens and the CVS and the big box stores that I had to go to this morning to get the Fix-A-Flat. Because my horse, the air came out the tire. I had to go to the colonizer store to get the damn Fix-A-Flat. I hate going in there. That's enemy ground. They knew the value of it. And proving it to you, when the whole Roswell event happened, they kept that secret. We didn't believe the ranchers and all those people in that town at the time. They were all threatened, but of course, a lot of them on their deathbeds before they died, they told us really what was up. A few of the people in the Air Force and the doctors told us what was really going on with Roswell. And now they released the Freedom of Information Act to show you that memory metal is a real thing. So we know Roswell was a real event. They know the value of it, which is why in 51, they created this law to guarantee that it would be a criminal act if anybody created any type of energy efficiency from any new device. They needed to lock us into fossil fuels. This is why I don't talk climate change. This is why it's a useless argument to me, except for the fact that they got that damn HARP ship out there freezing the country. It's a useless conversation, right? Because until you get your government to stop banning the production, do I need to pull up the letter that you get if you actually make efficient energy instead of using explosions and inefficient solar radiation to create it? You get that letter, and the engineers have posted that. And the other thing I said there before I did blackout, silence myself because I don't know how to use the mute button, Max. All the problems can be solved in a year, less than that. This is an old video, right? This is Stephen Greer in 2014. We ain't done a damn thing about it. It's been about damn near 10 years later. This is a very old video. Now in modern technology with 3D printing of metals and circuit boards and learning software that jumps and leaps and bounds that it made, assuming that they made an AI, which is most likely not an AI. You're not going to make artificial intelligence. An insane species can only make a psychopathic intelligent software, because all it does is learn from us. And so assuming they even got that, you release free energy, the whole world will be, you won't recognize the world, Christine, in 6 months. Mostly because of people like me, people I've worked with, my peers. You give us the means of creating flotating devices using that electromagnetic patent that they have on Google, making cars float, skateboards float, making drones that float using energy. The whole world will look completely different in 6 months. Probably in a year, you'd never have any more car accidents again. You wouldn't need roads anymore. You could stop destroying the ecosystem with roads. The devastation just roads alone do is insanity. I love the idea, Christine, of restoring the land and putting people back on the land. De-desertification, stopping ecosystem destruction. Part of that is us living in sync with nature. You can't live in sync with nature with using explosive compounds in cars that need to drive on roads and need to have telephone poles all across the world, right? All the gates. I was all over Texas, Christine. They got gates everywhere. They got these cow fences all over the damn place. Restore the animals back to the land, restore the predators. The human beings can live in their own little space, get in their little levitation device, fly over the bears and the wolves to go to work or wherever they need to go. But then again, work won't exist. So no, you release free energy, you get rid of the Invention, Secrecy Act of 1951, then you got to somehow create an organization that will be like an acronym agency to protect engineers that are creating world transforming technologies, using free energy-ish devices to create water in the desert, to bring ecosystems back. You'd have to have a CIA type of agency to prevent those people from being murdered, right? Because the law is one thing, but I'm not really big on laws because it's just a sheet of paper, right? The fact is the billionaires and the lords and the kings and the ones who kept things like Greek fire a secret since the beginning of time. These people will murder you. They'll murder you and everybody you know. They'll burn your entire town down to keep the world dependent on their technologies. But this is why I love Greer, because Greer takes a more methodical approach speaking about these things, and he brought into a lot of people I can recognize in terms of being engineers in the industry.
For a second. We'll get into this later, would result in this excess power. And it was observed by Faraday, and it was observed by Tesla, and it was observed by many others, and said, where is this coming from? Professor Dirac, D-I-R-A-C, said, well, he called it the Dirac Sea. And of course, Tesla called it the sea of the ocean of infinite energy. And it's been called various things. The modern term is the 0-point energy field. And as many of you may know, one of the writers for Jane's Defense Weekly, Mr. Cook, wrote an article about this, Jane's Defense Weekly being a very big defense journal out of Great Britain, very prestigious journal, and then wrote a book called The Hunt for 0 Point, which I recommend, based on a lot of information that we have begun to put out, and particularly as it applies to propulsion. All right. So if you create this kind of vector into the 0-point energy field, and you create a certain counter-rotating vortex, let's call it, which is almost a Sufi-like phenomenon, you get what...
He's going into a little detail. And I'm not going to play this whole video. I just wanted to remind people that video is out there. If you haven't seen him explaining why it is critical that all these technologies be released. Greer was the one who got those engineers together to try to get Congress to do the right thing, where Congress always does the wrong thing. I was actually over here looking at the Texas freeze. That's why it's important. An article talking about why is Texas grid failing? Because I guess they're ice storms, they're freezing. They're not designed for that weather. Right? It's all unsustainable. They built an unsustainable world because it's profitable. That's why I kind of want to talk about this morning, but this can go anywhere it needs to go. Because once you realize your world is a lie, then you got to stop believing a lie. Hang on. I mean, it's ridiculous that we have to help people in Texas learn how to live in a time where your government keeps technology from you, so you freeze. You know, you've got pets, you've got animals, you've got all of these things that are dependent on warmth in those states that we maintain, livestock, and they're all at significant challenge because we are among the most ignorant species that this planet has ever seen to allow the few to keep secrets from us just because they like to keep us working. All I know about what's happening throughout the West in the freeze is through my friends whose pipes are freezing. Let me skip over here and see if we can pull in a little bit of a news report. Hang on, Greer, hold on a second. Hold one moment, please. One moment, please. One moment, please. All right. Is it on the screen? Yes, it's on the screen. All right. Shocker. Oh no, Stonehenge was moved from Wales. Okay, that's a shocker. Now I'm looking for something about the freeze across the West. What is the media saying about people not having power in single-digit temperatures? Nothing. Okay, it's not important. Never mind. I guess it's not important. Oh, what is that? Host U.S. drones to kill Trump support. Oh, no, they were talking about that yesterday. All right, well, let's see if we can find a Texas freeze news report. It's not even Texas, it's just the western part of the United States. Without energy, people die. Without production, oh, look at that big UK freeze, 19. What's this week? West Ridge social media places is frozen pants. What? Y'all see this? Pants is freezing. Is this Chicago? What the hell? Hold on, I gotta look at this. Frozen pants, that stuff that gets my attention. All right. We have Wi-Fi issues again today. Release the drill bit technology. Yay! That's why we can drill through metal.
Only in Chicago could this next story have so many people talking. Here's what happens when you cross a man in his pants with our sub-zero weather.
If you feel kind of creative, you could also use a pair of pants.
All right. We're holding on. I see a little circle. It's thinking about it.
Pants with our sub-zero weather.
If you feel kind of creative, you could also use a pair of pants like so.
We zoomed with Adam Seltzer outside his place in West Ridge tonight. The Chicagoan has been freezing pairs of pants and using them to declare dibs on parking spaces. Forget the chairs and traffic cones. Seltzer's brittle britches have become a social media sensation. The popular pants went viral after Seltzer started posting pictures on Twitter, and tonight he's taking things a step further.
That's only because people in Chicago know how.
Before is I also froze a couple of shirts. So you can see if this works.
Oh my gosh. But people in Chicago know how. It's people in the West. Those are the ones who don't know how. They're the ones they've never lived through this before. Well, maybe they've lived through it, but We've been preparing for this. Oh, look. Oh, like, wait. We've been preparing. Somebody said we've been preparing for this. Have we? Maybe they did release the Invention Secrecy Act. Maybe I'm wrong. Hang on. Maybe they've repealed it, and they've been preparing for the. Oh, I remember this one. Did y'all see this one? This was the energy attack.
There's a look at Entergy's outage map, and you can see we just saw that large loss of about 10,000 people in Jefferson Parish, with about 5,000 more in Tangipahoa Parish, with thousands more spread out across the state. And joining us now is John Hawkins. He is the Vice President of Distribution Operations at Entergy. And I know you're a very busy man this afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you having me.
So give us an idea in terms of big picture for Southeast Louisiana. What is the total number of outages, and where are they mostly concentrated?
In Louisiana, we're seeing about 60,000 outages, and primarily that's in our eastern region, which is in Baton Rouge. That's where we're seeing the heaviest amount of impact.
Okay, and so for our area, is it primarily in that area in Metairie, Kenner that we just saw?
Yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. However, as you mentioned, the temperatures will continue to drop, and that precipitation, that water that you see on the ground, it will ice, and it will cause some trouble. So I just implore everyone to be safe and try to stay in if you can.
Are you fully manned, or did you have to send crews further up north to
All right, see, that's bullshit. So we were preparing for this? No, we weren't preparing for this by getting ice. That's not how you, that's not getting salt. That's not how you prepare for having a criminal corporation pretending to be a government, keep secret technology that would take us from a place of energy scarcity to a place of energy abundance where the power doesn't go out. It's not how you prepare for it. You slap the government with the eggplant, something. You hit them with some snowballs, right? You get them to repeal the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871, or at least the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. That's how you prepare for it. That's bullshit. They weren't preparing for nothing. It's weird too, Citizen Deb, isn't it? Because it's 50 degrees here. What feels like it. I'm not sure it's 48 in Connecticut. It's warm here. I would love to just buy bottles up and send it to Texas. But you can't do that. Right? You can't do that because they need people to freeze. Remember when Dark Winter was a conspiracy theory? Y'all remember Dark Winter? Remember, like, oh my God, that's not gonna happen. The winter ain't gonna be dark because you conspiracy theorists. They'll do anything they got to make money. Anything they got. Here goes the thing. The turbines. See, the turbines are freezing up. See, this is more fake energy news right here. You don't need turbines. You just need a government that doesn't lie to you, a government that doesn't have propaganda acts, a government that's actually a government that actually gives two damns about its people becoming ice cubes. That's what they care. That's what you need. But it's flipping everywhere. Y'all should invite the climate changers so we can talk about weather. Climate changers, stop it! Stop changing the climate. I love how people are fighting climate change from their sofas. But anyway, this is Fox News.
I gotta say, the forecast doesn't really look good. You talked about more snow on the way. We could pick up another 2 to 4 inches tonight and into tomorrow morning. And some parts of Texas are going to be getting freezing rain, which is actually much worse. That adds to all of the ice and the snow that is already on the ground and on the roadways, causing so many accidents. Temperatures are not expected.
No, fake news, brother. Those are not accidents. There is no accident in Texas or Nevada, New Mexico, California. Not on ice. That's not an accident. That's an intended event. That's an intended event. It's not an accident. They intended to do this. They wrote a law to keep us from having free-ish energy. They 4,000, 5,000 patents that are related. That's not an accident. There ain't no accidents when something happens that you didn't mean to happen. They did this. It is meant to happen. We are meant to have all the problems that come along with an unsustainable society where we have to buy power on the grid. That is not an accident. That's an intended dent.
To get above freezing until at least Friday for much of Texas. This will continue putting stress on the state's electrical grid. I can tell you this morning, nearly 4.2 million Texans, 4.2 million still have no electricity at this hour.
4.2 million Texans don't have electricity, and they don't give two damns about it. Why? Because the same reason they give two damns about the Texans lining up for food. They don't care. Please let me know that when you see that you have a corporation pretending to be a government that don't give two damns about people, you will stop consenting to it.
Hour, many families taking turns to warm up in their cars as wind chills overnight dropped below zero again.
I got friends doing that. I got friends that I was emailing and texting this morning, texting, and I can't get a response from them because they've been asleep. Because they all night long to go out, warm up in the car, come back in, go out in the car, come back in. This is insanity, right? But hey, they're using fossil fuels. They're burning up energy in the car. So of course the billionaires are making big time money. So again, this is not an accident. It's an intended dent. Key bono, always key bono.
Power outages making things difficult. I can't cook anything, and like I said, most of the things are closed, or I don't want to risk going out because people are not able to drive in the roads that are not treated properly.
Right, because nobody should be driving on damn roads. We should all be floating around in Jetson crafts if they released that technology. Well, the patents out there, but they didn't release all the information on it.
In Oregon, ice continues to be the primary issue from this winter storm. More than 220,000 people are still without power.
Oregon too, huh?
Structural damage is also being reported because the ice is just so heavy. While in Kentucky, look at this, several inches of snow coated roadways and made for some dangerous driving conditions. Officials say
look at this, look at this. Look at all these snow machines though, but look at all of them. Gas, all of them, like gas, all of them. Every last one of them, just gas in it, gas. You know why? Because truck drivers eat at truck stops. They eat Cinnabons in the morning with bagels and chips, and they all the subsidized sugar, and they just sitting there and just fighting, driving down the road. The methane goes up, putting more CO2 in the environment, and the damn truck is using gas too. Fossil fuel is double dipping. This is the world we live in. None of this is an accident. It's an intended dent, damn it.
Accidents have resulted from extreme weather in that
and they're going to get the cuckoo.
Schools are pretty much canceled in all of these states experiencing the winter blast.
Of course schools are canceled because it all feeds right in. Not only the truck drivers eating nasty food, because that's what you got to do when you get up that early in the morning. Your wife ain't cooking no breakfast for you get out there. You get up there. Some of them women truck drive. The women, husband ain't getting up no 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning so you got there and drive the snow truck. They ain't cooking nothing. They're going to grab something quick and get on the road. Now the kids can't go to school and they're going to get the cuckoo too because parents don't cook no more. So you know they got all that damn frozen pizza and chips and Fritos and all that stuff that you give that gives you absolutely no nutrition. So when you get a virus that you die from it. This is intended then. This is all intended. They literally, Bob Marley, how do you say it? They made the world so hard. They made their world so hard. And this is where we are. This is, what is that? New world independence. I'm not sure independence is, Christine, but this is an intendedence. I think that's what you're trying to say. They intended this. They give us problems so they stay in power. They stay in control. You know, we either continue to consent and go along with a system that keeps everything secret from us that we need, or we say no. We say no. We get to that Satya Yuga. We decided, no, you don't get to have any more secrets. We're not going to consent to you. We're not going to pay you nothing. We're not going to listen to you. We're not going to go where you want us to go. We need free technology so we can stop having our artificial problems. So as a global planet, we can realize, we can actually realize the real problems on Earth. I don't even know what the real problems are, Christine. All I know are fake problems. That's all I see. Everything I see is a problem. You don't need no damn salt trucks out there. And you don't need no unsustainable processed food full of GMO and glyphosate inside of the truck drivers. They need to be at home with the husbands and their wives, sleep in bed with it, and the kids down the hall in a tiny house. That's where we need to be. So we actually could see the world's real problems. Like, what is a real problem, Christine? I just sit back and I just look around like, what are the real problems on this planet? And the only problem I see is us. There's no other problems on the planet. And I think that if we get rid of all the artificial problems that this artificial Rothschild, Rockefeller, keep everything that's important from the people to give them more problems, to keep them in conflict with each other. So January the 6th will happen and all the riots this year would happen. If we got rid of their society and their world, I don't think there would be any problems. Put the people back on the land, let them grow their own food, let the robots grow it for them, let green drones grow it for them instead of red drones go blow up people in other countries and steal their resources. I don't think there are any problems on this planet but us. And we make our own problems. You know, so we do need a new world, not order. We need a new world disorder. We need the disorder, need the new world decentralized. Put people back out on land, let them take care of themselves. Give us 6 months or so, and then we'll start sending green drones out there growing food for you. TBH, the oil man woke me up today at 7:45. The tank is right outside my bedroom window. And that's a damn ridiculous shame, Citizen Dev. The idea that they need to put oil in the truck. First of all, you need to go to another country, blow up the country to get the oil, to put a puppet government in, kill a bunch of people, to put the oil in refineries, put the oil on tankers, ship the oil over here, have the distribution center, big tanker trucks come pick the oil up, distribute it to the regional facilities, and then the small oil man to go to the oil tanker facility to get his oil, to drive the gas car to get the oil, to bring it to your house, to wake you up in the middle of the damn morning, Citizen Dev. You know you need some damn sleep because you're a woman in a patriarchal world, and you and everybody else need the beauty sleep to wake you the hell up. It's an unstable. I'm sorry. This is why I'm losing my mind. This is why I laugh a whole bunch, because all of this is stupid. And people take it seriously. I think I log on social media just because there's still people here who take this world seriously.
To get warm, Dana.
Thank you, Casey.
It's a damn shame.
The blackouts that are in Texas are being made worse by the failure of wind turbines, many freezing in the icy weather, cutting output in half. And it's raising questions about the Lone Star State's increasing reliance on renewable energy. Fox News contributor and Wall Street Journal columnist Bill
It's not renewable energy necessarily. It is old technology.
McGurn joins us now. Welcome, Bill. Hey, I want to show you the Wall Street Journal headline this morning, Ed Board. A deep green freeze. Power shortages show the folly of eliminating natural gas and coal. And let me just read to you from that piece. Gas and power prices have spiked across the central U.S., while Texas regulators ordered rolling blackouts Monday as an Arctic blast has frozen wind turbines. Herein is the paradox of the less climate agenda. The less we use fossil fuels, the more we need them.
Bull shizzle. Bull shizzle 1, 2, and 3, Invention, Secrecy Act. If you go out and make a form of energy that is more efficient than fossil fuels, well, no. First of all, let's get it right to the letter of the law. You got to use fossil fuels. You can use solar panels, wind turbines, and any form of energy that was actually created in 1950. Well, it was right after 1951 they did the addendum. So if it was existing, you couldn't improve on it. What is it, 20 or 30%? So it couldn't be 20 or 30% more efficient than what exists, but you can't create anything new. They literally made a law to ban any new form of energy. So no, but then so the debate, and this is what they're trying to say, is, oh, this is why we need to frack. This is why we need to release the oil tanks, and we need to get people out there drilling the oil again. It's controlled opposition. It is all 100% always controlled opposition. Anytime you turn on this damn television, understand that every argument you give is going to be based on you not knowing the truth, and side A is making big time profits or side B. That's bull shizzle. We haven't need to be on fossil fuel since they found fossil fuel.
Your thoughts this morning, Bill?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of common sense. Look, everyone would like clean energy, but the fact is that the fossil fuels are far more reliable, and we have a hardened infrastructure to use them. So I think there's a role, but I think they've expanded way too far. Look, nature is always going to give us cold snaps and heat waves, and the question is whether our power grid can take it. And clearly, they've overexpanded. It seems that the goal is to have the fossil fuels marginalized, the ones that are reliable, and have more of the dependence on, say, wind turbines. And we see how that works out. I think there's a role for these other fuels, but I think it's a mistake to subsidize them and artificially, increase the supply there. This has real consequences for people. I think one person's already died.
I think the line from the Public Utility Commission chairwoman is quite telling. She says the wind turbines are all frozen. I mean, that is really something else when you have so many people suffering. I think to your point about green energy, I was looking at this earlier today. Tesla was founded in 2003. It sold its first car in 2009, so that's 12 years ago. But really, the popularity of Tesla only took off, arguably, over the past 2 years, maybe even 18 months ago. I think the point to be made there, Bill, is that the consumer will dictate what they want and do not want. And if they want it, that thing can go as high as the market will take it.
Well, I wish the consumer would dictate what they want, because I think consumers would choose reliable power sources instead.
That's a lie. The consumers would choose the Jetsons. The consumers don't actually have a choice. You haven't given them a choice. You haven't told them what was flying over Washington, D.C. You haven't told them what you found at Roswell. You haven't told them what the Pentagon is telling you now, that they got these free energy crafts. You haven't told them what the Google patent is. If you would tell people they can have Jetson flying crafts, they could take off of their roof, go visit their friends, go have a booty call in the middle of the night without having to get in the car, without to make noise, waking people up. They'll go do that. I know y'all would. I would too. Shoot. Instead of having roads destroying ecosystems. Hell no. Give the consumer real choices. You don't give them choice. Well, you want wind turbines that are unsustainable? Or would you like oil that's unsustainable? Or would you like solar panels that don't last long? What is your choices? Which one do you want? Dun, 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 dun. Stupid choice. We want the Spacely Sprockets and the Coswell Cos. We want the flying ships, damn it. But they don't ever let that be a choice, because they told, right here, they told you little green men in them things, and they're not. I don't know what's in that. Those are either humanoids from another planet or the humanoids from here, and they got that U.S. Air Force right on their shoulder, or probably said U.S. Space Force. They probably had that a long time ago. Anyway, I'm gonna do comments. No, I think it's serious though. I laugh and I joke, but people are dying. People are dying because we don't have the ability to critically think our way through problems. Why would they create a law to ban energy production from you? Because they need you to stay enslaved. So whether the technology came from Tesla, some UFOs, they found it in Atlantis, they found Mu, whatever it is, they don't want you to have it. Everything is not about money. Everything is about control. Everything for us is about money, which is why they give us debt at birth. Please stop cheering the people that are making your life harder for profit. Hey, Teresa, good morning. I just heard this news about Texas. I know, it's a damn shame. And it's all fake. It's all a false flag. All a false, 100% false flag. No, I'm in Texas. I'm freezing. Damn it, I know you're freezing, but it's a false flag because your government's lying about the level of technology that they have to keep you freezing, to pay your bills, so you'll go to work and you'll fight with other people over currency. That's what I mean, false flag. People always die in false flags. They always do. But you know, we don't have the ability to sit down and just think about things in an obvious way. You don't have an open source society for a reason, because if they open source society, you can go live your life, and that's not what they want. They want a slave plantation, literally blaming renewable energy. That's what they do, Max. That's what they do, and people will go along with it. As long as you'll jump on any ignorant extreme side, they got you, right? Because you got the people who love the oil on that side, people love the fracking on that side, the wind turbines on this side, the solar panels on this side, and all of it is either stolen minerals and resources, slaves putting these devices together in other countries, pumping black crude out of ecosystems and spraying it everywhere, getting everybody sick, or pumping it into the atmosphere, exploding it in your car on your way to work. You know, I don't think that renewable energy, let me think about this word, Max. Renewable energy. What does that even mean? What does that mean, somebody? Renewable energy. Means to do over. New means that it's relatively new. Damn, it's got to be newer than 1951. And renewable energy. It ain't new. All this is very old technology. You have to redo it. I agree with that. You got to keep redoing it, because that's how you got to make things consumerism. You got to make things consumable products. You got to make sure that people run out of gas so they buy more gas. You got to make sure the solar panel breaks so they have to go to other countries and start more wars to steal more minerals to make more solar panels, to renew it. So they got to buy more. And what about the wind turbines? I was in Texas. These things are like, for miles you can see them. Miles and miles and miles of wind turbines. Miles and miles and miles of mechanical moving devices that break down, that are made from minerals. You got to start more wars to get more. So yeah, it's renewable. They're all renewable. I'm sorry, Max. I didn't mean to blow that one up, but it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. All of it is bull. All right. Glad I had my flannel jammies when I looked at. Oh, okay. Well, no, you're not supposed to. See, that's wrong, Citizen Deb. Why would you have your flannel jammies? That man got up in the middle of the morning, come out there and give you some oil. The last thing, you could have went to the window and given him just a brief minute of joy, just, and pretend that you didn't know. Like, oh, what's that noise out there? She opened the blinds, ain't got nothing on. Oh, what's that noise? He's like, oh, my Lord Jesus. Then again, he might have a heart attack. You're right about that. So it's a good thing you had on your flannels and stuff. That's it. But sometimes it's good to give people joy. Sometimes good to make men smile. Men got a heart too. It ain't just women. Men got a heart too. Yes, and the crop shortages, yes, of food. And this is why it's a double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip system, right? So by not releasing the means to let us, me included, create drones to grow food for everybody, so food is free, they can increase food prices. But then it also fits in with the winter blast that's coming across, destroying citrus crops and avocados and all the things they grow out there. So the price of all of that goes up. Key bono, and they all benefit. They double dip, triple dip, quadruple drip. This is, yes, Mac, Rockefeller world, right? You make everything, what is that called? When you have to rebuy it, reuse it, re-pick it, re-plunge it, everything, nothing sustainable. Planned obsolescence. There you go. All the technology that they give you for energy production, for you to get up in the morning, taking your Xanax to go to work, to get money, to come home, to put it in the house, to run out of it, to go back to work, to get some more of it, come back, give it more, pay some more bills to go back and pay. It's planned obsolescence. Everything is designed for humans to be on this planet, to do nobody no damn good, to be in conflict with each other from birth, fighting over pacifiers, to fighting over savings accounts, and then you die and you ain't do nothing. Here the whole damn time, ain't done nothing decent. You can't take none of it with you. Planned obsolescence. The point is, each residential structure should have built its own site. Ooh, see, I know what you're gonna say. I already know. I have not. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is why I appreciate you, Beaufont, and I hope you didn't kill Jonathan and put him in a hole nowhere. I saw y'all were out hiking yesterday. I already know what you're gonna say. So you're getting to federalization. You're getting to decentralization. You're getting to the reasons why Puerto Rico, 3,000 people died a few years ago when the storm came through, because that HARP ship we still ain't keeping an eye on. We ain't still keeping an eye on that, and the whole country frozen. Why? Because Puerto Rico was made unsustainable. I know you thought it was Trump. That was the wrong answer. Because they made Puerto Rico unsustainable. They made Puerto Rico dependent on the United States Incorporated. They couldn't ship nothing to their country. So when bad times came, they didn't have 20 ports around Puerto Rico. They had what, 2, 3? Because all the things have to go to the United States Incorporated first, and then they send it to Puerto Rico, get that tax money. So when those ports got flooded out, 3,000 people died. So what Beaufont's explaining to you, in which I haven't even read the rest of the comment, and damn it, you better be talking about federalization and decentralization, because if not, then I just wasted everybody's time. If everybody's house had their own means of energy production, you wouldn't be able to take out, what did they say, 2.8 million people in Texas don't have power? You wouldn't be able to take it out. 2 people might lose power. Your neighbor might lose power, but you got it. You might lose power, but your neighbor got it, right? You know, a storm comes through. Some people in Puerto Rico might lose power, but not everybody. People live sustainable. Decentralization, you know, Satya Yuga. Back to Christine, what we talked about yesterday, Satya Yuga. When you go back to your own small, sustainable communities, maintaining yourself, taking care of your own self, and you're independent and you're not dependent on centralization because it makes more money, but it creates these centralized, easy points of failure. You don't have to worry about one storm coming through, taking out the things that you need to live. You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? And Deb can stay sleep in her bed. She ain't got to flash the oil man. But hey, Deb, but seriously though, if you did that, you might get a discount. You might get that. Listen, I've been here long enough to understand women, long enough to understand that women ain't stupid. They understand that you gonna get your bonus. You need to listen. When you're in patriarchal world, you do what you got to do to make sure that you get the discounts and bonuses, the free gas, the gas cards, the lottery tickets, things that you need to. And this is why they make them heels. They go clippity, cloppity, clippity, clop, and cleavage. They know what they're doing. Women know what they're doing. Men try it. Y'all fail too much. We fail at it though. Because ain't nothing. All right, let me stop right there. But say ain't nothing like a woman's body. And that's the truth. Use what you have to get what you need. Deb, sometimes you got to flash the plumber. All right, I'm sorry. I don't even know how I went there. I try to be professional. I really don't care what people think. I come out here to have fun. So anyway, the point is each residential structure should have built-in site battery storage, wind, solar, water collection built on them. Stem and leaf systems. Amen. Let the church say amen. You know what he's talking about? Blockchain, baby. Blockchain. Kinda, sort of. In a way, blockchain. Defederalization, decentralization, sustainability at the local level. You don't need the next town over. You don't need the next people up. You are on your own sustainable. You don't need other people for food. You don't need other people for water. You don't need other people. You don't need the centralized system. Everything is broken down into a blockchain where all the individual blocks are sustainable and they all got the same thing. So you can't corrupt the money supply. You can't be corrupt with your banking system. You can't be corrupted by the snowstorm. All right, anyway, we're going to talk about blockchain one day. All right, anyway, Rockefeller world. Amen. That's it, Max. Rockefeller world. They made the world so hard just for this intent. It creates problems, and when the problems come, what do? We go run into the kings and help me. Something is out there killing people. It's coming from China. I don't know what to do. A defederalization. If you had your own blockchain system set up, you already knew what food was. You ate your deep leafy greens like your grandmother told you. Your immune system worked. You wouldn't have these problems. You see what I'm saying? Rockefeller world. That's how that works. My power's off, which is a very real problem. Did you vote this year? Pay your taxes? Cheering for the colonizer, you picked your choice, tried in a bump, whichever one. Until you disagree with a system that disagrees with your ability to be a sovereign on your own system and sustainable, until you disagree with that system and bring that system to its knees, don't waste anybody's time. But that's why I love the solutions, y'all. I love solutions. Personally, I agree with Stephen Greer, someone else who said, they'd probably never going to release that technology for us. They'd rather blow it up than let you have it. Good example of that is if you grew up in a house with other siblings, you know how that goes. Listen, damn it, this is my ice cream. If I got to share this ice cream, it's going to be the ants. I'm not sharing it with my brother. His afro got too much oil sheen on it. I don't want him over here. He'll drip on me. He'll drip on the ice cream, mama. I'm sorry, that's my childhood. That's how I went. Like, hell no. Oh, you got to share it with your brother. I got to share with my brother. You got to share it with your brother. I got to share with my brother. You got to share. Oops. Mom, the ice cream fell on accident. It's in the dirt. No, that's exactly what the Rockefellers do. Oh, we got to share that free energy, huh? Trump passed that bill in December, said hey, we got 180 days to free all the energy, to free all the UFO data and tell all the monkeys about all the things and technology that we keep from them so they could be free and they could defy us. Nah. You just see UFO Space Force craft just blowing up in the atmosphere. What's all the fireworks? They just blow all that stuff up. Nah, you can't have it. Not for you. Nope. I don't know. As above, so below. That's what I would do if I was a Rockefeller golf shop. If I actually owned your world and I was a slave master. I mean, it's like, I would bet you if you go back to the slavery examples, it was slave masters who probably did that too. We all released the slaves. and we got to divide up the land and divide up the tools, divide up the food, and because they worked on your plantation and their mamas did, and their mamas did, and everybody, and split it up and divide it. If I was the master, I'd burn that plantation down, because that's just how we are. All right, let me do some comments. We'll go back. Get a man some joy. I'm not in my 20s. I don't know. It might be a shock, Citizen Dev. You do not understand men. I try to tell women every time. They're like, well, I'm not in my 20s no more. I don't know. You don't understand how dogs work. No, you don't understand how dogs work. No, our eyes and what we want age with us. The more jelly and jiggle we see in the mirror, the less jelly and jiggle we got in the things that make us joy and get up in the morning. Don't worry about that. I bet you make that man's day. You open that old man, comes to the door. Hey, old man. Well, he wouldn't know what to do to him, so he'd probably blow your house up. I don't know. I think y'all think men are pickier than what they're not. Men are not that picky. I hate to tell you this. And in struggle and hard times, you just what's that? What's that movie where they told the guy to bend over a log and squeal like a piggy? Prison system. Prison system. In harsh times, men will dead go through deep, dark modifications. Jive and Bode knows about this. This is why he put all them children in prison, to make them the ways that they are. That's not even a funny story. But no, ain't a whole lot of judgy. You put a whole bunch of men into prison. Yep, some of them start putting braids in their head, and the others start, show a little booty cheek leg, something. One's like, yeah, I hate that type of person, LGBTQ and all of that stuff. This is why I tell people, don't ever tell God what you won't never do. I know you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say next, but don't ever tell God what you never gonna do. Don't make fun of other people. Just go along with the system. Understand everybody's different. You don't never know what's gonna happen. Oh, look, that's a friend of mine. I can't answer the phone, and she don't even watch my videos no more. I really got to take this call. I'll call that person back. Anyway, no, this is someone I used to work with on sustainable projects, because I don't just sit here and talk bullshizzle. This is somebody we're talking about reclaiming the land, building communities, helping people. So I had to call that person. Anyway, let me do comments. I'm gonna get out of here. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, LGBT and Q. Don't judge people. Don't judge people. Everybody's different. I think everybody's born in different environments. They're supposed to be the way they're supposed to be. God don't make no trash. Everybody's perfect exactly the way that they are. And if they put you in prison, you 5 years, 10 years. I hear the commissaries. They got that Vaseline and lotions and all of that stuff. But damn it, they're gonna give you life. It might change your religion. It might. I don't know. I mean, I personally can't see it with me. I'm a weird dude. This is just me. I'm not. I joke with the whole boo-boo trail thing. I'm not a boo-boo trail man. I don't do scents, y'all. I don't do funky smells, and that's on women. Damn sure not on a man. That's just, I don't know. I probably killed myself. That's probably what happened. They come to shot, Mr. Gerard, we're gonna take you to prison for life. Oh, me? Prison for life? Oh yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I go in there and hit that Purple Rain music. All right. Well, you make sure you got the whole police department out there. Y'all got your guns and tasers and all that stuff, because you ain't getting me. I got a taser suit. This woman did a video on the internet. It's a black cat suit. The taser don't work. You gonna have to shoot me. I'm not doing no jive and bold and crime bill being in prison for long enough to men start looking delicious to me. No. Blah. Not me, not my thing. If it's your thing, I love you, appreciate you, and I think you should have all of the joy that makes you joy and joyful. Not me. How the hell do we even get there? I think both aunts understand that. Anyway, because he's out there running around with Jonathan Close in the jungle. Citizen Dev, all ages are okay. Yes, they honestly, I know that's right, because men ain't that picky. That's how we got there. Thank you, Christine. Men ain't that picky. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe that. I don't think women that picky either. You get a little money, guys. You get a little money. You know what, damn it, you do got a nose shaped like a penis, but I don't know. Maybe you turn this way in the wedding pictures. You got millions of dollars. I've seen it my entire life. That's how I shun people away. Well, on the first date, sure. I wear my flip-flops, my jeans with the holes in them, Shirt got holes up here. He ain't got no money, girl. He ain't got no job, so he can't be with me. Yeah, I'm a scrub. That's right. You're gonna pick me for who I am, damn it. Who I am. I could have billions of dollars. I'd never let you know. But you know I don't have billions of dollars, because if I did, it wouldn't be one starving person on this planet. It doesn't take a billion. It doesn't take a couple $100 million to free people. You know, like, I believe in freeing this technology, but real talk, people, real talk. It doesn't take more than a couple $1 million to create a food development system using automation that creates a food development system that creates automation that reinvested makes another food. Like, if you can use modern technology and modern economic philosophy to create sustainable communities that create sustainable communities all around it, you just have to share. The Ubuntu is one model that does that. You can create communities that change the world. But you can't have a billionaire. You can't have a Rockefeller, Rothschild. You can't have a Gerard taking all the money at the top. You can't have a cult leader, although I want to be one. That would be fun. It would be fun. It would be fun to be a cult leader, but it's just wrong. That's why I can't have no power either. You develop a community, a system that continues to reinvest all profit back into the system to create more land, to save more people from slavery, that reinvest more. All people need is food, a place to live, time to spend with loved ones and family, do the things they need to, some drones to take them on vacation and bring them back where they don't have to spend money on airfare or sit on a plane full of carcinogen Purell and all the handles and seats and the air blower giving you carcinogen lungs and cancer in your in your lungs. That's all people need. All you do is you create a system that creates no negative externalities, that's sustainable, give people the things that they need, and reinvest all the profit to save more people. It'll go viral. Doesn't take billions of dollars. All right, let me do this. Yeah, we are more importantly. Oh, Jay Close survived the hike. Couldn't find a proper place to bury him. Yeah, Jay is a funny dude. I finally met him. I got a picture of him, Beaufont, down there at the border. Jay's a good guy. Good guy. I'm glad that you didn't kill him, throw him, bury him nowhere. All right, my favorite movie is totally not politically correct, but I still love it. You Can't Take It With You. Ooh, released in 1938. Oh, I was thinking for a minute, Deb. I have not seen that. No, 1938. I can't do 1930. That's too far. I thought they said 1980. I was like, yeah, I think I seen that. I think I remember 1930. No, Deb. That's where the sound in the that's a black and white movie where the sound and the picture is just not ever in sync. I know I didn't see that movie. Maybe I'll watch it. They talk about solar power, so yeah. These ideas are not new. No, they're not. They're old. Oh my God, Deb, they're so old. They are old. Moses has solar panels. We are so stupid. We are so stupid. Hopefully we figure out, well, we're not stupid, we're ignorant. But hopefully we figure out that we're being played on all sides. That's why I just laugh all the time. Because it's funny, it's hilarious to me. All right, we did get lost though, inadvertently turned into an 11-mile hike. Do not get me started, Beaufont. Don't get me started, because I know he told you some secrets. He almost didn't make that hike with you. You run with me, you run with a bad boy. Beaufont, I know he told you the secrets. No, we didn't have an adventure. Shoot, that was probably the first time in my life I had a red dot on my forehead. I was down there taking pictures in cartel land. Just out there, hey, look, oh, it's pretty. I take doing selfies and stuff. They probably had a red dot right here. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna go. We had an adventure. I don't know how much of that story I should tell. I'm sure he told you. But I'm glad that y'all had a nice, wonderful hike. And you got lost, and it was probably just cougars and bears. It wasn't dead people buried, people run over the border, cartels, people with their head getting cut off. I got in so much trouble, Beaufont. Man, shoot. When I left there, another one of the travelers called, told the family member, well, where you at? Well, I'm out here hanging out with Gerard and Jonathan. Where you at? Down here by the border in this section. You down by that section? And you still alive. Should I call the police now? We can have some fun. I live dangerously, Bofon. I don't like to live safe. I like challenges. And so I love to be able to come on here once a month and say, you know, y'all almost died. It was true. That one was really true. But that time I almost died without my head. But that's another story. Hike. It's a good thing to go on a hike, Purple Dragon. We're not from the indoors. We're from the outdoors. It's supposed to be outside. Yep, they're still blaming renewable energy a century from now, if we're even here. It's crazy, Max. It's just, well, I just laugh at it. It's stupid. It's the news is, everything is controlled sides on all sides. And it's ridiculous. You know, renewable energy is so not new energy. That's just so, it's dead. It's an old discussion, old technology. We're in 2021 and we're still on technology that was made 100 years ago. I mean, who believes that, Max? I mean, think about this. Think about technology in cups. How far have cup technology come in 100 years? In 100 years, we're still having massive explosions in cars that we put little babies in and engine blocks to propel it down the road. That destroys our ecosystem that we would die from if we sat in the car because we hate work and put a tube from the gas pipe into the car section. We still do the cup technology in 100 years ago. What was a cup? It's probably like porcelain or something, like Depression era glass, milk glass, something. Look at this. This is like Roswell technology. It's stainless steel. It can't stain, can't rust, barely can break it. If the coffee is still hot, I made this coffee at 6 o'clock, y'all. What time is it? It's 6 hours later. I'm still drinking coffee I made at 6 o'clock, 6 hours, and it's still hot, and I'm not dying. Why? I should be dead. It's got international creamers in there. It's got cow pus and blood and all this stuff. All this stuff to help you get the cuckoo virus. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm about to wrap this up anyway. Cup technology has come forward. Mice didn't even exist 100 years ago. Not the mouse that we use with laptops, but the mouse. All the technology done changed. Phones, television. When I was a kid, when the television broke, you went with your father down to the tube. There were stores called tubes and things, or whatever it was called. You go in there and take the tube out of the television, take it down there and get you a new tube, put it in the television. Television weigh 800 pounds. Everything has changed. Oven technology, 100 years. But no, not fossil fuel technology, not cars. No, they still the same. Everything has changed, but that stays. Women ain't even the same. Women ain't even the same. Men ain't even the same. Don't get me started on that one. That'll be all day. But it's crazy. We live in a false world, Max. It's all phony. All we can do is laugh. Global shite will have us reduce the carbon by making it mandatory to refit your house. That will cost a lot. So see, this is more of a Jennifer Carroll. Yes, amen, amen. Right? Because they put more duct tape on top of duct tape on top of duct tape. You got to pay for the duct tape. You put more duct tape. You put taxes on the duct tape. They put more duct tape. That duct tape don't work. You got to put some super glue. That don't work. It's just building on top of unsustainability. Jennifer Carroll. What was I watching this morning? Author of a new book. What's that thing called in the UK? Anybody here from the UK? They used to tax windows in the UK. This was on, was it Corbett? I don't know who this was on. They used to tax windows in the UK. So apparently, the killers, psychopathic lords and kings got together one day and they decided that, hey, it's a good idea to tax windows. And so people stopped putting windows on their house, or less windows. They started doing smaller windows because they didn't want to pay the tax. And then the mice, which is back to mouse technology, they were spreading around. What was the plagues? What was the epidemics at that time that the government made into pandemics? Remember that story I told y'all about? So if you look at all the pandemics in the past, they were all got government help, all of them. This is one way the government helped it. Once again, Band-Aids on top of Band-Aids. So they needed money. So they said, we're going to tax the windows. So people stopped putting windows in their houses. So people started living in the dark. They stopped getting vitamin D3. Then mold would grow. There was no airflow. Some sort of epidemic came through. It increased the plague. It turned it into a pandemic because people living in these little houses. It allowed that cuckoo virus to stay inside of people's plague, their chest breathing in. Immune system busy fighting the mold in the chest while the mice pooping out stuff on the rice and the body fighting that, destroying the immunity. Same how the United States Incorporated does today in different ways with glyphosate and other type of things. And it ended up, oh, there's something. I forgot the name of it. Oh, I forgot the name. In the UK, they have a name for it. It's a book. I got to add it to the book list. It was on Kaiser. That's what it was. It was on Kaiser. Y'all want to watch that? Y'all want to watch 5 minutes? He explained the whole way taxing windows created an epidemic, which became, I don't know if that one became pandemic, but they didn't have big airplanes back then. But everything goes back to government since the beginning of time. And the Jennifers, because they make money off of things going wrong that were ideas they had to make more money, to create more of a tax on things that go wrong, take the windows off, they can sell you a cure, some snake oil or something. That didn't work. They got to sell you another one. They sell you this drug. That everything is just unsustainable duct tape. Duct tape on top of duct tape. That's why I'm glad the Satya Yuga is coming and y'all's currency is about to get destroyed. The colonizer is about to go down. If you got the US dollar, you better think about a change in your life. Better look up blockchain. What happened with blockchain this morning? You were talking about, this was on Kaiser. Elon Musk put $2 billion into blockchain, into Bitcoin 6 months ago. And in 6 months, he made $500 million. And that was more than what he made with Tesla since its inception on selling all the cars he did in 6 months. That's a revolution. I'm trying to tell people they're not listening. Okay, just blockchain currency is the future, and then currency is going to completely go away. But they wouldn't be able to do the stuff that they do, Jennifer, if they were using sound money. The only reason they can get away with the stuff that they do and do things that they shouldn't be able to do, that there is no money to do, is because they print the money, destroying the currency. The endless wars, every war has an end when you got to print money. I mean, every war has an end when you can't print the money. And plus the soldiers get tired. They're out there fighting and stuff. And the king run out of money, like, hey, listen, we need to go invade Venezuela. Y'all get out there and fight. And the soldier's like, where's my money? No, you need to show me some money. I'm not going down there and fighting other people on their property and because we don't like their government, because you need to get the oil for the Koch brothers, because that oil only works in their refineries, and you sold the song and the dance to the people who are voters. I play my part. But you're gonna pay me. Where are my shillings? So this is how fiat currency fuels endless war. And blockchain is going to completely destroy them doing things that they can't afford to do unless they got fiat currency and they're just printing the money. The wars will come to an end. The war on drugs will come to an end. They won't have the ability to, let me think about this free energy, Jennifer, for a minute. Will they be able to keep the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 as blockchain takes off and multiple currencies that are based in sound money occur? And now, mind you, it's not like the instant, stake to the vampire's heart, because the people who still got the most still going to have the most in blockchain. If you don't beat them, it creates an even playing field. Right? It's like you can't beat monopoly in the current with the current rules. The banks win every single game. The banks win, and the banks are the Rothschilds. The people who own all the land are the Rockefellers, and then there's all of us. All we do is jump around on their properties and try not to go to jail. But what blockchain does is it takes away the ability for the bank to just print money and give it to the Rockefellers to keep them on top. So it means that we have a chance to climb to the top. I'm gonna talk more about blockchain in the future, Jennifer, but I think that actually is going to resolve everything. And so if they don't have the ability to print the money, I don't think they can control inventions. I don't think they can control millions of inventors who want to make something, make money from it, and help their communities. I think the only reason that they have all the acronym agencies that they do, and they can shoot you dead in the street if you create something that's free energy-ish and throw you in prison for a lifetime, if they were locked into blockchain. I think blockchain is actually going to save the world in every way I think about it. Mass incarceration is going to come to stop. The police state's going to come to stop. Because if the police only got 8 bullets, Jennifer, that's like Keystone Cops. I mean, imagine this. Like, how do you have mass incarceration if the police only got about 8 bullets because that's all the state can afford? That's like Keystone Cop stuff. That's when you got to run around. They got to jump on. They got to learn how to fight. Now you cannot eat them jelly donuts. It's going to get you the cuckoo. The police going to have to learn how to go back to fighting because people going to fight. You can't have all the laws that you do. You know, it'll free the world. All right. I'm going to start wrapping this up. Refit your house. That will cost a lot. Exactly. And so the triple, double, dipping and more duct tape. So borrow from them. Lose your home as an unfit to live in without their new retrofit home. That's why I believe in tiny homes, Jennifer. I like tiny homes. I like earthen homes. I like adobe homes. I like hemp homes, cob homes, any homes that fit in with the ecosystem that don't poison people, that are highly energy efficient. It's a crime that anybody makes a house that can catch on fire, Jennifer. Right now that you know you got hemp houses and adobe houses where babies don't die in fires, it should be a crime to make a house that's not based on one of those technologies that keeps people from dying. All right, my second husband was a homeless man. Ooh, go on, Citizen Dead. Did you flash him? I don't know how this became a flash. That's probably how you got her. You say, oh man, you flash a homeless woman. Yeah, you flash a homeless woman. She just be like, baby, I hadn't seen about 800 of those every single month. There's always somebody out here showing something. Now I'm not interested. You flash a homeless man, you're gonna do pretty good. You probably get yourself a husband. And when I met my last relationship online, it almost didn't start because I realized where he lived. Why are y'all texting me? The funny thing is somebody texted me and he right here. All right. Anyway, I realized where he lived. Y'all are crazy. There's a bunch of them. I'm sorry. The other live streamers. I'm sorry. And when I met my last relationship online, it almost didn't start because I realized where he lived was a wealthy area. So obviously I'm not looking for money. Oh, wait a minute. My second husband was a homeless man. Okay, well, that's because you have values, girl. That's, you got values. You know what your cookies is worth. You know what your goodies and your cookies is worth. That's what grandmama said. You got to know, girl. You got to know what your goodies and cookies are worth. Every man on this planet will love you. You use them right. And what you're worth as a person. You know, when you know what you're worth, Citizen Dev, and what you know that you do, you can't buy Citizen Dev. You got all the money on the planet. This woman look at you like you crazy. You crazy as hell. You know what I'm worth? I'm a spiritual wave energy creature. Thing came from the God of the universe. The thing make creations and dimensions that create dimensions and creations and dimensions, damn it. No. You got $1 billion. What you think I'm worth? You crazy? But that Citizen Dev, she's a one in a few. Most women are like, shoot, you got $100,000, but I can get me a Maserati? Shoot, that's it. All right. But men are like that too. You got men gigolos now. They do it too. They admit, you know what I call them, Citizen Dev? I call them domestic hookers. Because that's what they are. You know, it's like, what's the difference between somebody that you hire for a minute, for 30 minutes at a no-tell motel, and somebody that you hire for 30 years? Ain't much of a difference. That's what I think is funny, Citizen Dev. It's big online dating, and that's what they do on them dating sites. What is your income? It's why I don't online date no more. I used to lie about that all the time. I ain't got no time for it. Nope. You want me, you gonna get what you get. You're gonna get some silliness, you're gonna get some fun, you're gonna get a dude that know how to make some things and do some things, fix some things, and things. That's what you're gonna get. The money's not a part of that conversation. Anyway, that's how capitalism was supposed to be. And besides, that's the other warning, Citizen Dev, is if I mess around and make money, I'm not going to keep the money. That's what keeps me single. I'm going to tell you what, if that phone, I just got a phone call and somebody, I got millions of dollars to give you to go build a community. I'm going to go build a community because I run my mouth and told everybody that's what I'm going to do. And these people hang me if I don't. No, I have no use for money. Citizen Dev, when I die, let me tell you, did I say this before? To me, I think success, like there are a lot of different measurements for success. I think probably one of the most important ones is how many people come to your funeral uninvited. I think that is a main factor in whether or not your life here has been successful. You know, and this is outside the fact, hashtag we all gonna die, but everybody comes back. Buddha Cat sent me a great article yesterday about the scientific evidence behind people who came back and kids remember their past lives until they're about 6 or 7 years old. That's a deep thing. We can talk about that later. That nobody dies, we all come back. But a success is how many people come to your funeral that weren't invited. That's how you know that you had a successful life. Nobody's coming to your funeral because you got money in the bank, unless you're John McCain, you're a war criminal, and they all got to get that letter that the cuckoo was coming in 2020. That's the letter they were passing out at the funeral. Look it up. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's funny. Your success is based on how many people lives you made better by being here. That's why I don't like money. I hate money. I hate everything that money represents. But money can buy the things that can save people's lives. So no, I'm a die a poor man, a poor successful man, because I'm laying up as much as I can with people say, you know what, that man was silly, stupid, crazy, and all kind of just the foolishness. But he was a good man. She was a good woman. That's all you want. That's all you want when you leave here, is you want to make sure you leave behind things that matter. Maseratis don't matter. Mansions don't matter. McMansions don't matter. Savings don't matter. None of that matters. What matters is what you do for people. So amen. Amen. Some of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life since then were homeless people. I talk to homeless people every time I get a chance. And it's rare nowadays. I don't go to the city as much as I used to. I can't stand that concrete jungle, especially now when they got them face diaper things going. Anyway, that's how capitalism was supposed to be. The wealthiest were supposed to invest back into the system that enable their prosperity. Yes, Diane, that's that trickle down economics way. Nothing trickle down. They kept all them trickles inside themselves. That's how it's supposed to be. But that's real capitalism. And this is what people don't get. I'm glad you see it, Diane. People don't understand free market capitalism. If you actually have free market capitalism, the price of everything goes down every single year. Homes get easier and faster. You can make them easier, faster. Eventually somebody 3D prints them. Then the price of homes go from $100,000 down to $50,000, down to $20,000, to 10, and then everybody has homes. And you don't have any homeless. Price of food, all it does is go down. Why? Because you're growing oranges. I learned how to grow oranges better. Somebody else makes a bigger plantation. They grow them better. And the price of orange goes down, down, and down, and down. But we'll never have capitalism in that respect. This is why I don't worry about socialism, communism, capitalism, because this all comes with cronyism. It infects every system. It is the cuckoo virus that you got to worry about. It's the one where the people with the most jewels make sure the system serves them the most. And that's with all of the systems. That's why I don't believe in any of the systems, any of the isms, because the wealthiest always decide. That's why that's the popular argument online anywhere else is between communism, capitalism, socialism, because the few families that own everything is going to gear that system towards them. All I know about y'all's excursion was the flip-flops. But I go off-roading, okay, on Black Lives Matters lands. Well, be careful out there, Beaufort. Don't go too far. Some people get a little upset about things nowadays. You get out there, you got that redneck looking face. I know what you're talking about. Bureau of Land Management, that's what he means. Black lands matter, Black lives matter, Black something, Legos matter. All of it matters, people. It all matters. None of it matters because they take your Legos, they take your land, and they take your Black. They take everything that you got. Until LM, then we in big trouble. Until lands matter, we in big trouble. And that's a big hey, hooray for Jonathan Close for keeping his mouth shut. We did things we was not supposed to do. We went places we should not have gone. And took pictures and enjoyed the trip. All right, up next to the border in Otay. Okay. Well, that's a hint to that's the good thing. People, if you got a secret and you tell somebody, you can tell Jonathan Close. He won't tell nobody. That's good to hear. All right, I'm glad he didn't tell you nothing. But I was running around flip-flops. All right, let me do some comments. We're gonna go. All right, he liked digging for antique bottles. Ooh, and that got my interest. Ooh, in a friend sense. I love that, but I was on guard due to his location. I did not want to find some guy who can't hang a shelf. Okay, because he was handy too. I like that citizen there. I like, you know, people who like to dig. I want to be a rock hound. That's why I was running around in flip-flops out there in the desert. I want to be a rock hound. I want to go out and hunt for crystals. I want to find geodes. I want to do those human things, the things that we want to do in life, not just the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds demand that I must do for 30,000 different slave plantations to exist on their planet. I'd love to go do those things. Oh, antique bottles are fun too. If y'all ever done that, go find an antique bottle. I had a friend who went to, I guess his father knocked down buildings in Philly and he found some real old bottles. It's a lot of fun, y'all. Getting the bottle, looking up the company, found out who made it, finding it online, you know, find out that your bottle's 100 years old, 150 years old, 200. History is amazing, you know, but that's a cool thing, Deb, is finding people that do very valuable, interesting things. I hate getting together just, you know, with people and they just want to talk the couples night out stuff. They want to talk about, oh, the kids went to this college and their kids going to work on this slave plantation. Their kids know how to use this cotton gin better than anybody else, stuff like that. That drives me crazy. This is all fantasy. We're all being forced to labor in a time where they have free energy or free-ish energy. Energy is never free to keep everybody working on slave plantations. And I don't think that's nothing to brag about. Wood Kuska, hey, Purple Dragon, I have no idea what that means. Comedy, drama, Bullworth, 1998. Total Truth. Are we doing movies? My favorite movies, Jennifer. Thank You for Smoking. That's an important movie people should watch. People who want to understand today and how today's works in a fun, comedic way or an informative way. There are a lot of great movies you should watch. Obviously, The Matrix, because The Matrix shows you that we do live in bullshizzle, and this is a matrix in various ways on every single level. Avatar's a good movie. That's a story about confessions of an economic hitman. How we go to other lands, not planets, blow them up and steal things from the indigenous. We're still doing that now. Thank You for Smoking was a good movie about cronyism, lobbying, and how the merchants of death pretty much run everything. A lot of good movies people should watch. But get outside. Don't sit inside and end up with the cuckoo because you're going to die. You got to get outside, get that vitamin D3, and do not sit inside and eat processed food. Or flashes their wealth and thinks it's going to get me. Oh, no. Yeah, I don't do that, citizen dad. Women do that, too. Now, they like to flash that money around. That, come on and get it. And they don't understand how men work. Certainly not in my mind. I don't see no money. Like, yeah, okay, well, maybe I could buy some solar panels with that, but I'm not interested in that. You see other things moving. All right, let me stop. Men, nah, but don't hate us for it. We propagated the species, right? Like we were given certain lusts and lustifications to propagate the species. And this is the beautiful thing about what I would call good men. You know, every man is a dog, every man is a freak. But just imagine somebody wants to be a freak for you. That's all they want, just you. Yeah, it might be 2-3 times a day and might drive you crazy, but other things you can do. How beautiful is it that somebody is just, listen, I got this freak in me. I'll never go nowhere. Just make sure you take care of business. And then they grow old one day and they won't be able to get it up. And then you can stop. But men are dogs. You know, it's funny. I don't know why I'm even saying this, citizen dad, but I say good men don't cheat. Good women don't cheat neither. But there's always multiple things that happen in these relationships that end up in these bad things happening. Wealth is a big part of it. Money's a big part of it. Back to the Rockefeller world, right? They made things so hard. They say 80% of all divorces are based in financial reasons. They make things hard. They destroy families. They destroy ecosystems. They destroy the lands. They destroy everything because it makes money. That's a good topic right there. But yeah, but don't be upset with your man because he, you know, what go to the shake club or got his little porn or whatever. Men are what they are. The only reason we propagated the species because whatever created all of this made sure that we were the hound dogs that we were. So back in the days when y'all only took one shower a month and it was less than that, we weren't worried about the sense of things. I'm sorry, that's wrong, isn't it? No, because we stank too. It wasn't just y'all. It was everybody stank. Queen Elizabeth said, I take a shower, I take a bath once a month, even if I don't need to. Queen Elizabeth said that, y'all. And at the time, she was trying to encourage the public to take more baths. You think things are bad now, man? I tell you what, I hate wearing face diapers. I'm living off grid, so I don't have to live in your little crony world. But as bad as things are, it's nowhere near as bad as they could be. Just imagine in today now, we got to argue about face diapers and white, black, black supremacy, white supremacy, Democrats, Republicans, Americans, China, Russia. We had all the same problems, but everybody smelled like doo-doo and warm garbage and unwashed human skin for like years. Be thankful that your man is a dog. We're supposed to be dogs. You know, listen, we might be going back to them days, y'all. We go back to agrarian societies and we start taking showers once a week again. You'll be glad that your man just love you for all the goodies, not for the money, because you ain't gonna have no money. All right, anyway. Love that movie, Jennifer. Oh, it was a good movie. Okay, I don't remember. I cannot date locally because the main focus locally is money. Neither can I, Citizen Deb. That's why I stay to myself. I live under a rock for the most part. Most people did. They're into the shallow things. I don't like shallow things. Earthship, yes. Houses out of sustainable materials. Amen. Purple Dragon. Live in the Earthship. The only thing I don't like about the Earthships are the tires. I think I mentioned that before because I don't believe in recycling. Purple Dragon. I don't think you were here. I think it's a scam. I think if you are making something that you shouldn't make the thing that you shouldn't make. If it doesn't have a means of not becoming a negative externality, then you shouldn't use it. Like, well, what do we do with the tires? We shouldn't be making tires. The reason why they make tires and they drill more and they make more tires is because we're finding things to do with the tires. If we would stop finding things to do with the tires, they stop making tires. And we wouldn't drive on cars, but we don't need cars because UFOs are real things and the patents are right on the internet. And the Invention Secrecy Act tells you that you have these things, and the Pentagon told you that they got crashed UFOs. Y'all see how I linked all that back around? Isn't that fun? You know, but no, I think recycling is a scam. It's like I'm gonna put it in the form of a marriage and cheating. Like, you know, you do something you're not supposed to do, then why would you make it sustainable for your husband to do it? Or your wife? You know, she running around with Tyrone or something. And you say, listen, baby, you need to stop because that's not good. You're going to get something on your thing, give it on my thing. And I don't want to take drugs to not have burns and fire and stuff like that, bumps. Say, okay, baby, I won't do it again. Like, all right, I'm going to recycle your apology. I'm going to pretend that you mean it. And she's going to go do it again. Baby, and did it again with Michael. Please don't do that. It's not sustainable. You're going to get sick. You're going to get me sick. We got kids. We can't got time for this. A lot of nasty, funky, dirty people out there. You shouldn't be out there cutting out on me. I'm sorry, baby. I want to do it again. All right. You ain't going to do it again. I believe you. See, you took her lies and you recycled them. She's not going to stop. The Rockefellers aren't going to stop making tires. Michelin ain't going to stop. Goodyear, they ain't going to stop because you find things to do. That's my only problem with Earthship, Purple Dragon. Plus, I'm not living around no damn tires. I'm not going to have no wall. You can make an Earthship out of Cobb. I love Earthships. I love the idea. Don't recycle. Do not recycle. Don't buy plastic. Don't buy tires. And I am saying that. And I did tell you that I got a flat. Yes, I'm going to have to buy a tire. But that's because we don't make them out of hemp yet. We are soon. Shoot, I'm going to make, y'all don't make a hemp tire. I'm going to make the first hemp tire. And it doesn't matter if it falls apart because it's going to feed the shrubs and herbs that are growing on the side of the road. All right, did YouTubers everywhere get a free Tumblr and review from exhibiting a certain one in their blogs? I didn't. Seems that many have one by their side lately. Okay, no, not me. Who's that? Sunshine? They ain't sent me nothing. Then again, I don't think they got my address. And if YouTube sent me anything, I would not eat, drink, nor put that anywhere. I'm afraid that all these billionaires are working together, Sunshine, and I think that this probably had a cuckoo in it. All right. What is that? The cylinder makes you forget. The cylinder makes you forget. I don't know what that is. The blockchain might be able to be hacked, but people markets can be. Wait a minute, but people markets can be. The blockchain can't be hacked, right? but people and markets can be exactly both fine. And so the funny thing is, I'm glad you said that too, because we came to the same understanding. When you look at blockchain, the blockchain is not hackable. It's a great thing. It makes it harder for billionaires, but the billionaires own your butt. So the billionaires can throw you in prison if you use a blockchain and you don't give them their cut. See how that rhymes? If they own you, it doesn't matter what you use, which is why money has to go away eventually. I just like blockchain because it makes it harder for them to be corrupt and dirty, and it has to be more on the surface. But yeah, they'll always find a way. As long as we give them our energy and we agree that they own us, they can do anything they want us to, no matter what currency we use. It's a step in the right direction. It's 50 degrees here. Okay, yes, almost 50 now. I got to get out here and put that spare on the tire. It's looking nice out there. And meanwhile, Texas is like, which is usually Texas. If you haven't been in the United States, Texas is usually 20 degrees warmer than us, 15 degrees certainly. Now they're like 20 degrees colder than us. That's not normal. And somebody new coming like, yeah, climate change, they need to stop. Not going back down that road again. All right. My father was very loved in the church, was too small. Very loved in the church, was too small for his funeral. He helped other ways. Christine, and that's the same example I had. There was a line outside the church, people getting in to see my father off. And it was beautiful. Christine, I think that affected me. I was more of a criminal before he died. and I was like, damn, man, who's coming to my funeral? And I was thinking about it, Christine. I was like, it might be about 10 people there. I don't have many friends. I kind of stick to myself. Like, damn it, I died. They could have that. Shoot, they could have that in a storage locker. It doesn't even need to be a church. They could just like paint a cross on the storage locker. About 10 people come up there. Yeah, Gerard died. Bastard. I really didn't know who he was anyway. He used to come get coffee at my shop. But I think that's real. I do. I think success in your life as a human being is mostly based on how many humans' lives were made better by you being here. Amen. Amen. You need to have your funeral in a big place. If your funeral could be in a little place, the Petey Wheatstraw. Where Lori at? Teeny weeny. What's that teeny weeny eggplant? What's that micro thing? What's her father kid who always say to her? Little weenie. Little weenie. Don't live a little weenie life. If you got a little weenie funeral, you lived a little weenie life. You have a bigger weenie. Make sure that you need a big place to be buried, and everybody come there to visit and see you, because in life you was Big Willie or Big Wilhelmina. You did big things in life, and big amounts of people miss you. But we're glad that you were here enough that they will come to a funeral uninvited because they found out, oh my God, Jennifer died. Well, I need to go. Look up the obituary. Where is it going to be? What time I need to be there? I need to say goodbye because Jennifer was such a beautiful person in life to me or to other people. All right. Great man, Chris. All right. Whoever the great man was. A lot of great men. Yes, he was. Who was a great man? A lot of great men out there. Ooh, I was watching a video of Great Man yesterday. Who was the guy? I added to my book list yesterday. The one who told us about the Committee of 300. I forgot. Somebody posted on my timeline yesterday. Love finding treasures from old sites from the farms where back then they buried their garbage. Spring best time. Yeah, buried their garbage, burned their garbage, all of that. I miss the smell of burning garbage though, Jennifer. That sounds bad. But growing up as a kid, I used to play in Arkansas where my grandfather used to live. And I used to love the smell of burning garbage. Because you started to get close down to that little El Dorado town, El Dorado, Arkansas. Well, actually, it's like around Little Rock. You start getting close. And I started smelling burning trash. It made me think of like freedom, running around as a little kid with no shoes on, around his garden, playing, fishing. I love that smell of burning trash. Back then, not now. Now I know it's just all carcinogen. All right. But I love finding buried treasures. I love hunting for treasure. I love going to thrift shops, Jennifer. Aliens, Men in Black tell us a lot. Aliens, I don't think they tell us a whole bunch. I think the movie Men in Black told us a lot. I don't think aliens are interested in us, not for the most part. That's why they don't land. I think they were in this picture when they showed up to Washington, D.C. I think this was the most that they'll do. I was thinking for a little while that maybe that was the Germans. I don't think it is. I don't know. But I'd like to believe that that was just aliens saying, listen, we're here. You're not alone. Don't be stupid. The sky is a neighborhood. Don't make a whole lot of noise because you piss off the wrong neighbors. Y'all not going to be here long. And then they flew away. That's what I love this event where the aliens, they flew in, the fighter jets went after them, and they flew away, and the fighter just flew away. We were going to get you. And they flew right back like, no, you weren't. Y'all are stupid. You don't know what technology is. You're still killing each other over oil and stupid stuff. You're not alone. You need to work together. And if you don't, eventually you're going to die because we have technology that you don't. And there's some psychopathic aliens out here that aren't too different from y'all. That's going to kill all y'all eventually if y'all don't get your act together, or we'll just let you die on your own planet. That's what I think. All right. Today, ask me about another hour. I might think something different. I love when I log in late and Gerard is like, I'm going to read a few more comments. I'm going to leave. I know I have at least an hour left. Oh, my God. All right. You act like y'all know me. Y'all know me. I'm about to click this button. I got to go. I have things I got to do. Metal cylinder in, Men in Black. Oh, yeah, the forgetty thingy. The forgetty thingy, who's-y, what's-y thing. Yep. Makes people like, pew! That's what they do. You know, it's like, yep, Roswell crashed. They discovered the craft, the memory bending metal. The aliens were little with big heads and big eyes and stuff. And everybody forgot about that. Now the Pentagon is telling you all of that is true. But people been flashy thingy me. We've been flashy thingy instead. So now we're still fighting over the people's skin colors and their religions and dumb stuff and politics instead of saying, wait a minute. You mean tell me y'all got technology to free every man, woman, and child on this planet so they could go live and become compassionate, to make all violence go away, make all rape go away, end all wars? The thing that enslaves us is gravity, and you have something that is almost or is anti-gravity, but you just like us being slaves. Somebody flashy thingy the earth, Jennifer. That's why we are a species with amnesia. Your coffee cups looks like that cylinder. Okay, that's why yeah, but I don't want to flashy thing anybody. I think that we need to remember more than anything else. We need to remember who we are. We need to remember we're a species with amnesia. We need to remember and think about the fact that we come from probably some of the most intelligent beings that have ever existed on this planet. And we need to go back to living more sustainable lives. And we're probably never going to get there until we think about why car accidents are happening in Texas. Why are people freezing right now in the West? It's because it's profitable for them to freeze. It's profitable for their pipes to freeze. It's profitable for people to die because on the grid is the only way that colonizers keep control over you. It's the only reason JP Morgan refused Nikola Tesla to give free energy to a planet that is now dying without it. So anyway, this Gerard, gotta go. Y'all have a great day, Gerard. Love you. Bye-bye. Take grandma, say hi. Have fresh food, greens and things, and stop eating donuts and Twinkies in the morning. You're gonna die to cuckoo. This is Gerard, gotta go. Invention Security Act 1951. Get rid of it, release technology to the people, stop crying about climate change, and actually do something that will stop the government from letting people starve to death in a nation that has technology that nobody has to starve or freeze to death. Gerard, gone. Bye. Love y'all. Bye.
Do you wanna break the chains that bind me? 'Cause I wanna break the chains that bind you. Do you wanna set the world free? Have perfect harmony? Isn't it time for that? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom to the top? Make modern slavery stop. Do you wanna let go of the prisoners? See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? wanna free, boom, boom, free the people and Mother Nature too. Close down all the zoos. Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna free?